The internet tells me that slime hutches are a waste of time. You can't profit off of them, and I can't even find evidence that white slimes exist. But if white slimes do exist, and they can theoretically drop diamonds 100% of the time, then I see nothing but potential here. Time to put my theory to the test. I'm Brandigan, and this is the story of my white slime farm. From humble beginnings come great things, and this is a slow burn, so let's take it from the top. We start with Robin because I first need a slime hutch. For this experiment, I'm going to be using a mod to freeze time so that we don't have to sit through winter. Don't worry though, I'll break down how much time in game you'll need to make this pipe dream a reality. After a few days, our slime hutch is built and Marlin swings by to deliver us our first slime egg. This is a nice start, but what we really want is the chance for eggs to drop when slaying slimes, and that 1% chance is impossible until you have a slime hutch built. With that out of the way, it's time to start adding to our slime egg collection. Before this video, I slayed enough dust sprites to get the burglar ring, and that will give me an increased chance of double loot from the slimes I massacre. I can collect a blue slime egg from frost jellies on levels 40 to 79 in the mines, a red slime egg from red sludges on levels 80 to 119 in the mines, and a purple slime egg from the purple slimes in the skull cavern. Finding infested slime floors is a quick way to collect all of the slime eggs I'll need, but either way, 2 to 3 days of slime hunting should be all it takes to find every egg. The color variety is necessary because slime color is determined by their 3 red, green, and blue values. The next step is to clear out space for my future slime empire. When kept on your farm, slimes can escape overnight, but a good fence pattern will help mitigate that. I'll start with 2 fences for now, but 3 hardwood fence layers will be your safest option of protecting your slime herd. With most of the preparations out of the way, I begin to incubate the slimes in my newly built slime ranch. They won't hatch for a few days, so I swing by the guild to pick up the slime charmer ring. Without it, entering my slime ranch would mean certain death once the hundreds of slimes I've been raising begin to attack. A couple of days have passed and I finally have my first slime prospects. Over the next week, I'll spend time in my slime pen because the more active they are, the greater chance there is for slimes producing new baby slimes. Fast forward a couple of days and I'm already starting to see a lot of color variation. Colors that are more gray or pastel mean that the slimes have higher red, green, and blue values, so I dispatch of any slimes without these properties. Slimes turn gray when their 3 color values are all above 150, and that's what I'm looking for. For you normal people who aren't familiar with slime breeding mechanics, a slime's color is determined by a combination of their red, green, and blue values, and each of those color values are a number between 0 and 255. A baby slime inherits each of its red, green, and blue values in the following ways. 25% of the time, it's the maximum value between its parents. Another 25% of the time, it's an average between its parents. And 50% of the time, it's one of the parents' values plus or minus a random value equal to up to 25% of the original number. I continue my process of selective breeding by taking out outliers with my sword or slingshot, and eventually I have gray slimes to single out. With a little bit of luck, I should have enough gray slimes to produce a white slime. I've been adjusting in-game time with a mod, but it's been about a month's worth of breeding at this point, and I have a quickly growing brood of gray slimes. I keep hoping to see a white slime, but it never comes. I know they're not white slimes because if I slay them, they drop stone 100% of the time. White slimes drop iron ore 100% of the time, and diamonds if their RGB values are the same, but sadly, this attempt wasn't meant to be. Back to the drawing board. I learned a lot from my first failure, but my biggest realization was that I could have a lot more control in this experiment than I first realized. I used an item generator for more slime eggs to better test this theory because I know that I need to control 3 values, red, green, and blue. I also know that I can control the gender of the slimes. My research on color values has led me to my first big epiphany. Assuming the Stardew Valley wiki is correct, red slimes will have a red color value greater than 220, and so green slime color should behave similarly. If I breed male red slimes with green female slimes, I should eventually have a horde of yellow slimes. These slimes will have a high red color, high green color, and low blue color. Thanks, 6th grade art class. With all of that in mind, I'm now building slime stables to better control the outcomes. Luckily, there is a yellow slime check in the game because they will drop gold ore 100% of the time when slain. This means that I can guarantee a batch of yellow slimes that have a red value greater than 200 and green value greater than 180 and a blue value less than 50. With what I know now about slime breeding and colors, I can breed these yellow slimes with blue slimes. Any offspring that turn out gray mean they likely have higher color values than the gray slimes from my first experiment. Before I say fast forward forward through this part, I want to point out that this is several generations worth of slime breeding, and we're looking at nearly 3 seasons worth of breeding slimes. This idea is starting to look less and less viable, but I refuse to give up. I don't know if the stars were aligning perfectly for me or what, but my new plan starts to go off exactly as I anticipated. Yellow slimes were easy enough to come by, although I did notice that they are often more green than yellow. I also found out that you can sometimes hatch a yellow slime from a red slime egg because the game first checks yellow before red. And if the green value is high enough, you get a yellow slime instead of a red slime. After the yellow slimes, I introduced blue into the mix, and soon enough, gray baby slimes started popping up everywhere. Through all of this, I always separated by gender and also got rid of any slimes that weren't the expected color. With my gray slimes ready and no white slime in sight yet, I know that the lowest color value now is probably green because yellow slimes only need a green value of 180. I breed my new gray slime herd with green slimes in hopes of finally seeing a white slime, and I think I finally made a breakthrough. A male slime has appeared that looks suspiciously lighter than the other gray slimes. I make a fortress around the slime so that he doesn't escape and save my progress overnight. I use this time to test whether he is actually a white slime off screen, and sure enough, he drops iron ore. 100% confirmation that this is my first white slime. The gray slimes continue to breed, and I see a lighter colored female. She may or may not be white, but I decide to toss her into the pen with my only white slime. A few days worth of breeding later, and what's this? Their offspring are noticeably lighter than my other gray slimes. I let them multiply for a bit and want to show you the side-by-side comparison against our first experiment. The difference is slight, but it's clear that these are white slimes. The only thing left to do is to test the culmination of all of this hard work. I begin slaying my horde of white slimes, and they are dropping iron ore as expected, but something's missing. Where are all the diamonds? Surely there are white slimes with even RGB values that will drop diamonds. Where did I go wrong? How could I make it this far and fall flat on my face? So after all of this, what am I missing? Is this what Linkin Park was telling 12-year-old me in their first breakout hit in the end? I proved the existence of white slimes, but the profit isn't there. Or is it? I'm a numbers guy, and probability math is something special. A white slime has 3 color values, each between 231 and 255. If what I remembered from my undergrad statistics class 10 years ago is correct, I can calculate the number of possible color combinations for white slimes using something called the binomial coefficient. This isn't a math channel, but with 3 values that each have 24 possible values, that means I have a 1 in 2024 chance of a white slime with even RGB values to guarantee a diamond drop. And that, my friends, may be where our slime journey ends. For now. I can't imagine how crazy and stupid someone would need to be to build an even bigger slime ranch to find the 1 in 2024 chance of a perfect white slime, find a partner for that slime against even greater odds, and then breed a horde of perfect slimes for hundreds and hundreds of diamonds. That sounds like a monumentally stupid and long quest just to prove he or she was right all along. Right? Well, I guess that depends on you guys. Like the video, subscribe, and if there's enough interest, I'll consider making a part 2 for this wild journey for perfect white slimes. Thanks for watching.